Hi everyone, welcome back to JPWHU TV. My name is John, your host as always. I hope you're all doing well. As you saw from the intro video, this is the preview of the England versus Bulgaria game that's on at 5 o'clock live at Wembley Stadium on Saturday afternoon. So let's have a shout out to the channel sponsor 3retro.com. Please click the affiliate link in the description below that will take you directly through to the England section of their website, where you can have a look and purchase retro kits from the 1963 all the way through to World Cup of 98. And also by means, but as I say guys, it doesn't have to be specifically for that. Any purchase made through the link in the description, it doesn't matter what you purchase. You can go and have a look at the West Ham stuff if you want. You can go and have a look at any of the stuff in there. Any purchases made, absolutely any purchases made through the link in the description will go to Isla's Fight for the next 17 purchases. So any contributions between the either affiliate links will go towards the Isla's Fight. So come on guys, I know you want to dig deep. So as I said, this is the England versus Bulgaria preview. Is on for 7th of September, kickoff at 5 o'clock. Both international games, the one that's on Saturday and the one that's coming up on Tuesday night, they are both live on ITV, in case you guys are wondering, because I know sometimes BT and ITV like to mix and match when it comes to the qualifiers, and also the games, the tournaments themselves. But this is purely on, these two games are purely on ITV. Now, I've done a bit of research, as you guys know. Obviously, injuries for the Bulgaria side is a little bit tricky. But I've tried to give you as much information as I could possibly find. Our last 6 competitive games with Bulgaria, we've won 4 and drawn 2. That's it. You know, we have never lost to Bulgaria ever since going back to 1962, if I remember correctly, which was the first ever England Bulgaria competitive game, which I remember, if I remember correctly, was a draw itself back in those days as well. So anybody around at that time that can remember it, put your comments in the comment section below to let me know. Now, as I said, it's a little bit tricky to find out injuries for the Bulgarian teams. I mean, obviously the England team is easy peasy, but for Bulgaria I couldn't find anything, I'm afraid. But Bulgaria have only won one Euro qualifier since October 15, when they beat Azerbaijan 2-0. The latest 6th within the with all European qualifiers is they've won 1, drawn 2 and lost 3. Now the other interesting thing is just having a look at the age of their squad. There's a lot of, I don't know who these guys are, so I can't say there's a lot of farmers and blah blah blah. You know, I haven't really looked into it that deeply, but the average age of their squad is 27.5 years old, compared to Gareth Southgate's 24.6 years old. That's the average age of our lot. Now, one thing I want to talk about when it comes to Gareth Southgate, before I come on to the England team itself, is I love his mentality. Now, obviously, when it came to the World Cup last year, he picked a very strong squad for the qualifiers, and a very strong and up-and-coming squad as well. As I said, if you want to re-watch my World Cup videos, then by all means go and click on the card that's up here. I was going to say there, but it's up here. But yeah, he's putting through a club level mentality. Is if you're playing well, then you start. He doesn't really do the old maxim of, if you're playing for Man United, if you're playing for Arsenal, if you're playing for, you know, if you're playing for the so-called top 6, then you're automatically in the squad. It doesn't work that way, and I love the fact he doesn't work that way. It's brilliant. It's really bringing a proper coming together of everybody. And of course, you know, one thing which I'll come to in a moment, but it's not in my, I'm going to obviously talk about my starting 11. But this player isn't in the starting 11 because, to be honest with you, I don't know how well he plays. But one thing I really look forward to seeing, and Jake and I touched on this when we had him on Tuesday night, was there's always a big of a hoo-ha made about when two mates are on opposing teams and they're coming up in England qualifiers, male and female for that matter. But one thing I would love to see at some point in these qualifiers is Mason Mount and Declan Rice together. Mates on the pitch. They've known each other since they were at the Chelsea Academy. Be brilliant to see that. It's been a long time since you've seen that. Obviously, you know, the closest we ever got to that was the Neville brothers playing at right and left back specifically. Sorry, respectively, I should say. You know, so it'd be nice to see those two on the pitch, but if we see it, we see it. If we don't, we don't. But it'd be nice to see it. Now, in terms of England injuries, Wan-Bissaka is the only one that's had to recall himself out of the squad because he's picked up a back injury. But he won't be replaced either because Alexander-Arnold and Kieran Trippier can play in his position, so there's enough cover. And again, that's very, very good news. Obviously, this is the reports as of the time of recording, but it's very, very good news. So let's talk about the starting 11. My starting 11 will be Pickford in goal, Trippier at right back, Gomez and Keane making up the centre-back pairing with Danny Rose at left back. Now, what I've done with this starting 11 is I've tried to put people in their natural position, shall we say, to try and do it as much as I can, to try and just shake it up a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that back four. It's quite a good back four. I mean, there's a very, very good call that Harry Maguire, if he's fit enough, will be in there because he played very well for Southgate under Southgate on the World Cup. So you know it's very good. I'm looking forward to seeing him again. But for me personally, those are the back four that I would do. I would have West Ham allegiance coming in here for a second. I would have Declan Rice as the holding midfielder, with Oxlade-Chamberlain out on the right, Henderson in the middle, and Maddison out on the left. Now, the reason why I'd have Henderson in front of Rice because he can drop back and sit as a centre-back pairing. You know, the holding midfielders, I should say, they should be. I reckon that will work very well together. Henderson's come under a lot of criticism recently over the last few years, but myself included, I haven't really said it on camera because we haven't really talked about England that much apart from the World Cup last year. You know, because bearing in mind the channel's only been going for 2 years, but you know this thing, there's something about Henderson's played now. He's a lot of a better player than he was a few years back, and I just want to reiterate to everybody out there that you just get off Henderson's case because he's not as bad as everybody thinks he is. For me personally, Henderson's kind of like the Martin Noble that was never for England. He's that important to the Liverpool squad and could potentially be that important to the England side set up as well. So I guess time will tell. And the front two, I've gone for Kane and Marcus Rashford. Two very, very talented footballers. I mean, I hate to say it, because bearing in mind Kane's a Spurs, but a very, very talented centre forward. And Marcus Rashford again can drop into midfield if needs be, to go into like a 3-1-3-1-1 or 3-2-2-2 or 3-2-2-1-1. Anything's possible with this squad, and that's what I love about it. That's the managerial buzz I'm getting from Southgate, is the fact that he's bringing in that club mentality, as I've said, and it's really seems to be paying off so far. But this is the first proper qualifier, so well, as I say, I know I did a review of the Montenegro game. And for some reason, the other one, I don't think the other one's up yet for some reason, but I'll try and figure that out. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for your time. If you like the video and you feel I deserve it, then by all means, please click the like button down there. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you very much for your view. If you want to keep abreast of what's going on for England during the qualifiers, then I suggest you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get to know when the next videos are going up. Obviously, there's still going to be West Ham content coming out on this channel specifically as well, but I'm going to be doing hopefully, if everything works out properly, I'm going to be doing a watch with for the England game, for both of them, for that matter, on Tuesday night as well. So guys, put your comments in the comment section below. Do you agree with me, out of the vast squad that we've got for England, which is looking one of the strongest I've seen for a long time? Do you agree with my starting 11? If not, I'd like to know yours, and I'd like to know your formation as well, for that matter, as always, because your comments, I love reading your comments and love interacting with you guys. It's brilliant. And also, please share this video with anybody that you feel may want to watch it. So in the meantime, guys, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your end of your week. And I will see you on Saturday, hopefully Saturday evening at just before 5 o'clock, to talk about the team sheet, and also we'll discuss the game live as it happens. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you soon.